Hello, ladies. This is the Morning Gardener Show, and I'm just here to tell you a little bit about my little plant here. It doesn't have a name yet, but this is a pomegranate. It's a wonderful pomegranate, and this pomegranate um, was purchased a year ago at the Home Depot. It was just a little tiny little two little stems, real tiny little thing, and um, and I'm telling you, this is a beautiful thing because it grows. It's woody now, and I can tell you this is going to get some size on it. I can already see that. A lot of size is in a pot now indoors for the winter because it was a really, uh, you very really young plant, so I didn't want to put it out the first winter. But next winter it should be outside. This is in Zone 7B pomegranate. The wonderful pomegranates that you see in the grocery store, this plant produces those. And they're about, where I live, the pomegranates are about $4 each. And I'll be able to soon grow my own. So there we go. If you have any questions, please leave the comments. Leave the comments because this is a bush. Some people grow it as a tree. In this particular zone, because it does get cold, and you don't want it to kill completely off. You want to grow it as a semi-bush, semi-tree, or you could grow it as a bush, which I'll probably grow it as a bush. But see how big it is, folks? Look at that. This thing it grew on its own, and it's growing even longer and taller in the house, even with minimum of, what do we call it? Let me get it right here. A minimum light. You can see the soil is just as dry. Doesn't require a lot of water. So don't overwater this plant if you decide to get one. But it's got thorns on it. I never knew that. I'm just noticing this right now. These are thorns. Look how long these thorns are. And so I got to be aware of that when this tree does get some size to it. It's going to also have bigger thorns. All of this growth came about when I brought it in the house because when it dropped all its leaves, I said, okay, it's gone dormant. And then I brought it in, and all of this took place. All the growth you see, all the green growth you see comes from when I brought it indoors. And so did a little bit of pruning. I probably need to do a little more on this side here where I have some dead branches here. Right up in here and all. These are dead. And all this new green growth is from bringing it in the house, feeding it a little bit of fish emulsion, and also another ingredient I put in the soil. I'll tell you that if you need it, hit me up, comment. But I want you to consider buying some trees or getting some trees because this food crunch we're getting ready to go through could be quite challenging. I'll put it that way. So I have apples, plums, peaches, pears, kiwi, grapes, blueberries, blackberries, raspberries. I have all of these on my property, small little property, and everything's growing fine. All right, so I got to go out there eventually and get to pruning these trees. They're a lot of work, so don't get these and think you stick them in the ground and then you got pomegranate everywhere. These things will get big. These will get they will get big. And depending on how rich the soil is, they will do even better as far as size. So keep it cut back, just like you would a rose bush if you had one. Keep it cut back, keep it nice and pretty, and feed it naturally, which is the cuttings, grass clippings, and also leaves from the fall. Feed it, and because don't try to run out, because fertilizers are going to be very scarce this year, and they're going to be extremely extremely, extraordinarily expensive this year. You will see a difference in the price. All of my fertilizer that I need, I can make. I can make fertilizer. Look at this, folks. This thing is getting big in the house in the wintertime. Dead of winter, I thought it would just stay still and just stay alive, and this thing is actually growing. And so remember, this was $10 last year. I still think that was overpriced. If you would have saw the size of it, it was actually two of these here, right there. It was two of these, and they wanted $10 for it. I mean, two of the size, you know, growth like that. So struggled, keep it alive, and you know, and fed it, and now it needs to be watered. So I water it today, but do not overwater these type of plants. They do not require a whole lot of water, and they grow without a whole bunch of care. All right, this is the Morning Gardener. Remember, if you have any questions, any concerns, remember, just leave your comments. I will answer back. That's what I always try to do. This is the Morning Gardener. Thank you. Remember, keep on growing.